Hi friends, Scott from Sharing the Burden. I'd like to share a little bit with you. We're reaching out for help, and it's not because we're money hungry individuals. We're reaching out for help because we have something that we can expand and make a big difference in the world of addiction, particularly addiction as it affects the institutions, the jails that we go into. And I'll tell you why that's important. And many people would say, well, the people in jail have committed a crime and need to do their time, and they understand that, as I do, and as most people do, that we are responsible and must pay the price, and they're willing to do that. But so many, as a matter of fact, 80% of the people in jails in Canada right now, that represents about 50,000 people. 80% or 40,000 of them are in jails for substance abuse related issues. And, that means the lion's share of them are addicts of one type or another, whether it be booze, drugs, whatever. Folks, addiction is a disease. It's a serious disease. It's accepted by the medical associations pretty much worldwide as a disease. So we need to treat it as a disease. And anyone who has looked into it at all knows that jails do not cure disease, particularly diseases that mix together mental illnesses, anxiety, depressive related issues, borderline personality, bipolar, etc., etc. All serious illnesses that need special attention and special help and support with recovery issues to be able to learn how to cope in society. And I can tell you that our organization, Sharing the Burden, has met with about 2,000 inmates in the last year. During 2018, we've had face-to-face meetings with about 2,000 inmates over the year in 3 different institutions in Ontario, mostly around the Milton area and Toronto. And we've seen about, as I say, 2,000 in anywhere from 4 to 10 meetings a week in different institutions. Now, if we do some math and realize the size of the problem, we have many, many people to get to, and the seriousness is such that I'll give you an example. In a meeting I did last night with a couple of other fellows in a ladies' jail, had 8 women out, 8 inmates in talking to us. And when I brought the subject of fentanyl up and how bad that might be or what was their experience and so on, and one immediately jumped up and said, well, I've OD'd 9 times on fentanyl, and I've been brought back every time, and I can't figure out why. And and as she said that, and as she was going through that, at least half of the other ladies in the room were nodding. And friends, this is standard. This is what I see. This is what those of us who do this, who go into jails as representatives of Sharing the Burden, this is what we see, and it's just widespread and going crazy. So, if everyone in there, or 80% of them, are in this kind of a situation, we've got to look seriously at a whole bunch of things, and another one being the fentanyl issue. This girl it was fentanyl that she had OD'd on 9 times, and so did most of the other ones. So a friend of mine was on the radio show on Tuesday, and as we interviewed, he indicated that he had been drug-free for a year. This was a celebration. It was actually his year ending, and this was actually his birthday, but 2 days sooner or 3 days sooner, he had celebrated 1 year of sobriety, no drugs. And he said 30 of his friends, since he got into recovery 1 year ago, 30 of his friends have died of fentanyl overdose. And these stories are not uncommon. This is what we hear all the time. And friends, the people in jail or in prison are the closest to death. They've done such things as these ladies indicated. And many have overdosed, and many have been dead for all intent and purpose, and someone with a naloxone kit, or they were able to get 911 there in time. Somehow they've survived, but many haven't, as we know. and if we get to the people in jails who are closest to death, this is what we do, and we help them find some hope, because we love them. We don't care what they did. I mean, we don't condone anything they do. That's not the point. But they're God's creatures, created just like you and I were, and we're to love them. So we do that, and they love us back. Matter of fact, many will pray for us. Many care quite deeply about our situations in life. Quite interesting. I guess it's we love them first, so they love us more back. It's quite interesting, and this is what this service that we do is all about too. So, we need help financially, for one thing, and I'll tell you, as director and founder of this organization, that not a cent of any money that we collect anywhere goes into paying anyone's salary. We just don't do this for money, and I don't as the founder. And believe me, the hours we put in are, many, but we love it. So we do need financial help, and we need more volunteers, a lot more volunteers. I'd like to see double or treble the number of people that we've seen. We have the product, we have the people who can be trained quite easily for the type of support that we bring to the institutions. We have access to many people who could be taught very easily. And we want to do that. We need to do that. And be with me on this as we train these people. And we've already seen evidence of this as some have come out and been on the radio program. But many of these people will make a big difference in the societies that they have spent time in the last number of years. So in other words, they can go back to places that many of us cannot even get to. And they can be believed because they've been there. And they can teach this simple program to many in a very short time. And folks, for the 40,000 who are in jail, there's another 200 and some odd thousand who have been affected. People at home with these addictive diseases or family diseases. Everybody needs help. And the people at home need help as much as the people who are actually addicted and end up in jail. So we've got a lot of work to do. And as we can work on changing society from the bottom up, so to speak, we can go in and care and love these people and teach them how to love themselves and love each other. We can get to a whole realm that really is costing the taxpayer one awful lot of money. I mean, if you think of 40,000 people who really should be in some sort of recovery program, some sort of rehabilitation, costing up to $300 a day each. That's, several $1 million a day that could be going into your research and in actual recovery institutions or different recovery modes. Anyway, we got to get into that. We got to save some lives here. I mean, they're going down like 10 pins in the bowling alley. So we've got to do something, and don't saddle Sharing the Burden with its limited resources to do all this. Join us and help us, and help any organization that's doing what we're doing. And there are several, but all I can do is offer what we do and tell you to come in. And if you have any doubts about anything I've said, come on in and see. Come in for yourself. I can get you into the jails with us, as long as you're committed to being there for the right reasons. We're happy to bring you on board, show you what we do, and train you in whatever areas you need to be trained. So, folks, we love you all. We love all the people we attend to, and as Christian men and women, we're taught to love all people. And by the way, religion has absolutely nothing to do with what we do. As a matter of fact, I indicate at every meeting that although we'll pray for you, and although we may be praying to the God of Scriptures, whatever you pray to, that's fine with us. And you want to take part in our prayers, do so. If you don't. But we're going to pray for you guys anyway, in the hope that there's a healing for you. And and it's not only prayer, but that's a big part of the whole situation, the whole deal. So, folks, come on and join us one way or the other. And if you can help us with your pocketbooks, please do so. And have a look at what's going on the radio station, STBRadio.ca. Pull up previous broadcasts. We'll be putting up the one we just did on Tuesday in a day or or so, and that'll be available along with all the others that are already there. And get in touch with me, Scott, 647-222-0515, or Scott, SCOTT, at SharingTheBurden.ca. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to get you involved, and together we can make one big difference. So, folks, thank you so much. I really appreciate your taking the time to listen to this. So, God bless. Have a great day, great week. Hope to see you again, but soon.